I was reading an article today in my favorite Buddhist magazine. It's called Tricycle magazine. And in this particular article, the writer is telling the story, and one particular line stands out to me. He said, "Fear is negative faith." I was like, okay, let me pause and be with that. Fear is negative faith. It reminds me of something I heard years ago, that worrying is placing your energy on that which you do not want to happen. Think about that. When we worry, we're spending our time focusing and cultivating what we don't want to happen. It's deep, as if worry is supposed to render a positive outcome. It actually cultivates the energy that we do not want. It focuses on the thing we don't want to happen, right? It's feeding that. And so when I read that line, fear is negative faith. Now, we all have fear. You know, it's a normal part of the human life experience. It's a normal part of the experience of sentient beings, those of us living and breathing inside of this type of form, animals, humans, right? And as normal and natural as fear is, it is also something that we have to be mindful of. We have to really pay attention to when it shows up for us, so that we do not latch on to it and sort of ride the train of it. It's normal, it's natural, and it has its place. If we allow fear to overtake us, if we allow fear to be at the forefront of how we move through time and space, then we end up cultivating that which we do not want. And we end up sort of paralyzing ourselves in life. Where is fear and worry for you? That's what I'm thinking about today on the mat, and it's definitely inspired by that article. Fear is negative faith. When we think about faith, we think about maybe we think about many things, right? Whatever faith means to you. In this moment, I'm thinking about sort of placing my energy, thoughts, attention, intentions, belief on that which is unseen. I have faith in my ability to execute X, Y, and Z. I have faith that in the end, it will be okay. I have faith that fill in the blank. Fear is negative faith. It's like you're fearing, you have faith in the negative outcome. You believe that it's all gonna, go awry. Fear is negative faith. That's deep. I mean, I really have to sit with that longer to see what really comes of it for me. And in this moment, I just want to drop it out there for you. If you are someone who has a lot of fear, where maybe it just seems overwhelming, the kind of fear that you have, peel it back. See the messages that you're telling yourself, the inner dialogue or monologue discussion with yourself that is behind the fear. What stories do we tell ourselves when we're afraid? When I see a spider, I tell you, the fear, it's real. And you know what? It's negative faith. It's like me really thinking that little bitty spider has the ability to do something to me, even though it's not sneaking up on me in the middle of the night. I'm actually looking at it. And I'm giving it some kind of power over me. And it's a negative. That fear is negative faith. And when I go back to where is the start or the beginning of that? Where did that fear come from? And so when they become bigger fears, fears that actually debilitate us, we think of the worst case scenario and we feed it so much that we're actually cultivating a negative belief system. We're cultivating a negative faith. And how does that serve us at the end of the day? How does it bring light to the darkness? How does it elevate and expand us? It doesn't. And am I not in touch with my ability to think otherwise? Am I not in touch with my ability to see this spider for what it is? This creature that can be scooped up and taken some other place? When we worry and we're cultivating and focusing on that which we do not desire, are we not aware or in touch with another thought process? When you sit and you worry about money or relationships or health, after you worried, has it shifted anything for the better? Has it given you wisdom, knowledge, and understanding? Or has it had you circle the drain and sort of render more of the same? Because if worrying got you somewhere, if worrying got me somewhere, then it seems worth cultivating, right? It seems like time well spent. But the truth is, worrying does not elevate us. It is not time well spent. It is time spending energy on that which we do not want. Could we not shift that and focus then on the positive? Could you not begin to look at the perceived or real problem in front of you, and rather than worry about what will become of it, think upon it differently? Just see it for itself, not adding to it, not taking away. If I faced a spider and I didn't have a whole thought process behind it, I could actually be with it. Now, I say that in this moment because there aren't any spiders. I'm not in the practice, right? When we're actually in the situation, it's different. That's why it's called a practice. And so today on the mat, as we think about whatever has come of the week behind us, or as we look forward to what is in front of us, perhaps you and I can be mindful of how we're meeting things. Are we filled with fear, which is negative faith? Are we filled with worry and angst, which is spending our time and energy focusing on that which we do not desire? How are you being, and how am I being? And to have compassion, right? May I have compassion for myself, and may you have compassion for yourself. Because it isn't about perfection. It is about the practice of trying to be more present and mindful in our lives. To see things as clearly as we can, and to meet those moments with clarity rather than attaching worry or fear. Feeling it. Now, you can't deny your experience. I can't deny my experience. It's important that we acknowledge them. And then we have a choice. Once I acknowledge my experience, once I see the spider and acknowledge my fear, I now have a choice. I can go down the path of the negative experience. I can worry about that which I do not desire. It will not change the spider's presence at all. Or I can acknowledge how I'm feeling and then make some choices to meet it differently. And if I'm unable to meet it differently, to just not add to it, just let me take a pause until I'm able. And so I encourage you to do that. Whatever is in front of you, to meet it, to feel how you're feeling. And if it's angst, if it's worry, if it's fear, to acknowledge that, to note it. Ding. I am experiencing, or there is fear, there is worry, and give yourself a pause. Because in that pause, we can meet things differently. But when we feel the angst, the worry, the fear, and then we just allow ourselves to sort of spiral into that and out of that, we miss the pause. And so then our behavior follows the fear. Our behavior follows the worry. But in the pause, like an active, present pause, there's the potential to see it differently and then act accordingly. And so may I practice the pause so that any fear or any worry has its rightful place. And may you practice the pause so that any fear, any angst, any worry has its rightful place, which is to note it and then to sort of let the power remain with you and not with the thing that you've noted. May the power rest within so that in the pause we can meet it differently and make choices that elevate and honor us, our fullness, and not lose ourselves in the spiraling that comes of worry and fear. It is a spiraling. And if we find that we have spiraled out, the moment that we note it, the moment that I tell myself, oh my God, it's been 15 minutes of me staring at this spider, what am I gonna do? Or whatever it is, something really, really disabling, devastating bad news, deep and wide heartbreak, fear of the unknown, whatever it is. If we find that we do go there, whenever we realize, when you realize you have gone down that dark path, in that moment of realization and awareness, just come on back. You do not have to stay there in the punishing. You can come on back to the present and begin again. So, on this day, may we begin again. May the fear, the worry, and the anxiety not overtake us. May we cultivate the practice of placing our time and attention on that which we desire and not flowing down a river toward a sort of mental and emotional demise. I wish that for you, and I wish that for myself. May we be in practice. May we be in practice. Thank you for your time, your attention, your ear, your presence with me here today on the mat. And perhaps you'll come back around and sit with me.